know he's working on upgrading that. I'm gonna do something funny. Yo, Flash, welcome in. Alright, what's he doing? Bye-bye levels.
The end is near. I don't think anybody will be able to realize it. But the days on this server are numbered. I can't believe that it's already to this point. We've been working on this world for over a year now. We got a lot of projects done, but many things left unfinished. But none of that matters now. What matters now is we unlock that power. We have the final piece. Hey! I've heard that you have a little problem about a certain object you may or may not have. I heard you may want it off your hands.
Hi, Mig!
Hello, hello, hello. I've just been curious about it because, you know, I've heard you've had little problems with it. It's gone and then it's back and then I don't know.
Wait. Let's fill everyone in. So what are you talking about specifically?
That little book that you showed me a couple months ago that I couldn't understand.
Okay. So you mean that book? The book that's been in my room since I found it?
Yes.
The book that Teapot and I found when exploring a cave near her base?
Yes.
The book that I've given to Teapot. She jumped into a fiery, flaming pit of tables. It burned and then reappeared at my base. The book that Fairy threw into her mana pool thingy and got immediately sucked up and destroyed, and then reappeared at my base the next day. And then the book that I gave to... Who else did I give it to? Who have I given it to? Pizza, that was then stolen by Evil Pizza, or Beanza, and then apparently taken off into space, but then reappeared at my base. The book that... Who else had it? Who else did I give it to? I tried giving it to a lot of people.
Yes.
I think, is that everyone?
I think that might be everyone. I don't know. I wasn't aware that they destroyed the book.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'll hold it on for safekeeping and...
Are you gonna lock it in a box far, far away so it never comes back to me?
I'll lock it somewhere close to me. So, if it comes back to you, we may figure out what's going on here.
So, okay. Do you want it? I mean, I think you want it.
Yes, I do want it.
Someone's listening. Oh, there he is. It's the man himself. The one who failed to get rid of it. You failed to get rid of it! Anyway. Alright, what are you gonna like, is there anything, like, I'm just giving it to you? Like, do you want anything in return? Like,
no.
Like, is there anything I need to do, or...
No, there's nothing you need to do. I'll just
It'll
hold
be back,
it for safekeeping.
Man. It's gonna come back.
I'm being a good Samaritan here, so just take the offer.
Have you heard all of the theories about it?
I've heard many things about it. All of them I do not believe. I will make sure that doesn't happen, and if it comes back to you, I will take it again, and as many times as you need. Well, we have made it. We have done it. We're finally there. We've got what we need. Now we have the final piece of the puzzle, and we shall get ready. This book is what we need. I am sure of it. After hours, after a month of just researching, for a long time, we are here. We have the ancient text. However, we don't know what directions it's supposed to give. Continue on. If it takes another month, so be it. But I feel the end is near. Now that that's out of the way, we can actually go ahead and do what we wanted to do today. So, this is the last episode of PleasantCraft Season 1. And, you know what? I guess we wanted to end it in a great way, in a grand way. So, what better to do than create a giant theater in under 1 week? We have very little time to build this thing. We have the area basically cleared out and ready for it thanks to Viking Pilot and Flippin' Pizza. So yeah, we're gonna be working with him on building it. So hopefully we'll be able to get quite a bit done. This actually might take a while. This video is probably gonna be a week-long endeavor. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, and we got a lot done. Take a look at this. This took quite a few days, but we got pretty far, and we're kind of getting close to finishing it, and we are really, really close to ending the season. So this is probably going to be the last project for this season. So here we have the main entrance, and this project I actually collaborated with Viking, and Viking has done basically all the interior. I made some little contributions, but he's been the mastermind behind the floor plan of this building. So yeah, so we have we're gonna have 2 theater houses here, and these are gonna be like movie theater houses, like the standard cinema type. So yeah. Oh, we got actually movie time. We got Bacon's Revenge at 12:15, Gone with the Pleasants, 3 o'clock, Thalman's Day Off, 5:50, and Teapot Troubles at 8:15. I wonder if I can fit that into my schedule. Maybe not. Probably, unfortunately not, because I'm a busy man. So yes, let's go into the bathrooms. So yes, they're not finished, but they're really close. So we have like a mirror effect, except it's not exactly a mirror. It's just a peek into the other room. So yeah, that's a bit awkward, but it's the best we can do because it's Minecraft. But yeah, and then over here we got the concessions, and then over here we got a kind of break room, and then in here we got changing rooms. We've got a green room over here. We've got a sort of storage area here, and like sort of like garage for like vehicles to drive in and drop stuff off, any sort of supplies or anything. Then over here is backstage to the main theater, which we'll check out in just a second. So right here is the main theater room, and it's almost finished. We just got to figure out these back walls here. But yes, this is where we're gonna hold part of the end of season event. Pretty much we're gonna do some speeches, some performances, and then we're gonna go to the Coliseum built by Pizza to do some other events. And then I've got something else up my sleeve, which you probably know what it is. If you watched long enough, you know what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the theater for now. We are gonna continue working on it until it's finished, and you will see the finished product later in the episode when we do the end of season event. And since it is the end of the season, I felt it was only right to do a tour of what we built this season, and I'm going to try to go in order as much as I can. So this base started out as a small little platform above an island, which, I totally forgot about that. But yes, we built a small platform to get started, and then we got to work. We spent hours, days, building this giant ship. And I gotta say, although there would be many things I would probably change now, I am happy with how this turned out. But yes, the first real interior that we ended up doing was the bridges. Now, both bridges are almost exactly the same, except this one has armor stands, which makes it just a bit more interesting. But yeah, it's quite smaller than the actual bridge of an actual Venator, but I tried to get as much of the detail I could in this scale, and I think I did a pretty good job. We've got clones working on the ship. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. This guy seems a little stressed out, and we get a nice view. We even see some of the other ships. We see the not quite the rest of the fleet. The other bridge is blocking it. But yeah, we get a pretty nice view of the outside world, and with this resource pack I have, which is the DokuCraft Sky, I basically just took the DokuCraft texture pack and removed everything but the sky. It makes us look like we're traveling through space. But yeah, and each one is the same. It goes into a little room here where we could have a hologram. Right here, we got a clone speaking to us. And then through here, we got an elevator that goes down into a little hallway. So the next interior bit that we did was both of the side hangars, and this is our main method of exiting and entering the base. So here is one of them, and then another one that looks exactly the same except flipped. So yeah, the next room that I built is kind of pointless. It's sort of a barracks type thing, you know, just somewhere to sleep, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Let's move on to the next thing. After that, we built a sugarcane farm, which is a pretty simple farm. It's not really that efficient, but it works for what I need. If we head out to here, we could actually see how it works. So, whoops, it operates on a individual farm that once it activates in enough time, it will activate all of them, and it will pretty much mean that, you know, you will collect basically all of them. The only ones you will be missing are the two here, but that's not really a big deal. The next room I built after that is a monstrosity that took a long time to finish, and it is the main hangar. We have quite a few ships in here, including a gift from Teapot. But yeah, I think this turned out really good, and we actually have a little, like, control deck, which if we enter inside, we can overlook the entire area. It's actually got a pretty good view of the entire hangar here, with some little controls and stuff and buttons and all that cool stuff that you could pretend opens the doors. But unfortunately, although I wanted to try to do it, I just didn't build this big enough. The next thing I built is the Bamboozler by Etho, except I made my own little design, and I have two of them. You activate them, it dispenses bone meal, and it basically breaks it really fast. And if we go up into here, it travels up the water, and it goes and flows directly into our furnace system. The next thing we built is the spiral furnace system, and this is actually something I'm really proud of because it's actually my own design. It's not perfect, it's definitely very inefficient, but I wanted to try and fit with the theme no matter how inefficient it is. But yeah, basically the input is here. You get fuel from the Bamboozler. It goes all the way into here and fuels up and goes around, and then it all flows into here. It splits off and then flows into there. Now, there's really not much redstone to it, mainly just a bunch of hoppers and rails and a bunch of basically comparators to stop these carts that come up here in their tracks so that they're able to pick up everything that flows into here. And then a bunch of item dispensers so that it could flow up and into those hoppers. But yes, that's pretty much it. The main storage chest just loops around, goes down into there, loops around back, and then comes up here. And it's the same for both sides as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. After we built this, beyond that, we built the iron farm, which is working really well. It actually was working really well. I had been running it for a while, and I actually haven't collected in a bit. And I haven't actually been around the base that much to be able to collect too much, but it's collected up a good amount of iron between the last time I just grabbed a bunch of iron. I actually ended up filling like 3 double chests of iron blocks. So yeah, it was that was fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. It's the one problem with it is these modules are a little too close, but it actually somehow makes it a lot faster in getting the iron golem to spawn. I don't know why. It's weird. It's definitely not how I probably would have worked it. I probably would have had a system that these things were spaced further apart, but unfortunately there wasn't much space. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. And then heading back in this direction, we built up the rooms in between here, in between the bridge, which is an elevator up here, and there's an elevator on the other side. And we've got a meeting room here. Then back here, we've got the portal room. And over this way, we've got a hallway. And then these are the entrances to the bridges that we saw earlier. And then back here is my bedroom. Or as I like to call them, the Admiral's quarters. So we have 4 maps. We have a map of the old shopping district before we decided to renovate and actually completely redo pretty much the entire shopping district. I think the only things that are left standing originally is the building itself for the Walmart, the monster under the bed mob shop. The pet shop was flipped to the other side. The iron shops is still there, and the rocket shop was changed from pink to red. But yeah, other than that, everything was completely redone, and this is how it currently looks, which it is amazing. I love how it looks. We've got a little bit of the Metro District in here, and this looks amazing. This looks cool. For like the little bit that's here is pretty cool. And then over here is a map of my base area. We've got the main Venator and then the fleet with the light cruiser. And over here is what was supposed to be an industrial district, but just never panned out. So we'll go check that out in just a bit, but yeah. And then we've got quite a few things in the collection. We've got our banner, and we've got this Insane in the Rain poster. We've got this kind of Ender Trooper helmet. It looks really cool. I just found this skin, and yeah, it looked really cool. And then because we're rich, we use a beacon for a lamp. But yeah, and then we also have got a couple workstations, just in case we need to do, like, any sort of enchantment type stuff, or we need to make something in the netherite, or just anything in general. We have that here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the bedroom. We've got just a couple shulker boxes of just random junk that I don't really need right now, so yeah. Now, heading back towards where the hangar is, we're going a little bit out of order right now. But back here is an armory. We just got a bunch of clone armor here, and it's pretty simple, so I didn't want to be the last thing we saw because it's a pretty small thing, but it is the last thing we did on the base. But if we travel through here, and we go through into here and down this way, we have ourselves the storage system, which uses a shulker box unloader that travels through the entire area to put into these chests and sort, and then any extra remaining items head into here, and then all shulker boxes are left here. But yes, I actually didn't end up using the storage system all too much, mostly because I kind of built it at a time where I kind of was just grinding in other places, and I didn't really have a need to store this here because I was using shulker boxes and carrying all my materials with me as I went. So yes, this storage system didn't get much use. Majority of the use went into this section, and then also some of this section up here, and then a little bit of these blocks as well, and then up here didn't really get used much at all. But yes, going past here into here is the bulk storage system, and basically you've got an input, and then it goes up through a bunch of double chests spiraling from up here, and then it gets detected. So there is a double chest of cobblestone in here, and then you drop a shulker box, and it feeds into here, into this dispenser. And then you press the button, and it will fill up the shulker box, and once it has fully filled it up, it will break it, putting it into here. And that's pretty much the same for each of these modules. And then passing here is just something a little small. We have our pet phantom here. I really had no other place to put the phantom, so I just left him here. Now heading back to where the furnace room is, we go into here, and we go past into here, and we have the best room in the base, the Kappa room. I mean, just look at it. Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful, isn't it? And the next room, right next to the Kappa room, is the target practice area, and it's a little mini game type thing with redstone. I actually put together myself. I actually worked on this like really hard, and I actually took the time. It was a very good project for me because it actually allowed me to figure out certain redstone properties, and it allowed me to create some sort of minigame. It's a really simple minigame, but it's really helped me with my redstone knowledge. So yeah, so basically how the game works is it starts by just trying to hit the center, and of course my aim isn't perfect, so bear with me here. Oh, there we go, 1. And then, yeah, 2 light up, and then, yay, we win, and then it self-resets, which was a very important thing for me. But we also have a fail-safe for if someone wins, we can reset all of them, and then for the game, we can put up and down these little things so we can make them move as we please. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this game. This game was just a very small thing. I didn't end up doing much with it, unfortunately. But it was a lot of fun to build, and honestly, I want to try to make a bigger version of this game, maybe next season of PleasantCraft. And then finally, in the opposite direction, we have the mess hall, and we have a bunch of villagers with carrot trades, where we could get ourselves a bunch of golden carrots. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this room, and yeah, so it's just a place to trade, and I just decided to make it a whole room because I wanted to fill up the space. And if we go back here, we might as well just call this the kitchen, I guess, because we've got the people, you know, farming the carrots, I guess. Like, yeah, because that's what you do in the kitchen. You farm carrots and potatoes. That's exactly what you do in a kitchen. No one can tell me otherwise. And we actually recently collected quite a bit because I haven't traded in a while. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the entire base. Now, let's move on to other things that we've built. And after that, we have the Republic fleet. We've got a few Republic gunships with a Jedi starfighter here. And we've got Anakin and Obi-Wan's Jedi starfighters over here. We've got a Republic gunship over here, which I use as an AFK platform for this gunpowder farm. We've got 2 V-19 Torrent starfighters here. And then finally, we have the light cruiser. So we can enter in through one of these doors, and we have sort of a lobby area here where we could go a couple different places. Let's enter to the lab first, which you probably know what's going on here since you've watched the video. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just experimenting with skulls, and I do not want to touch that lever right now. I do not know what could happen because I've been doing a little more research with this book, and I think it needs to be in the hand, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Entering back through here, we could go up through here, and we have to have this room because I can't just go straight up because it's not gonna go to the right spot. But back here is the bridge. So it's a smaller bridge, but it actually works just fine for what I need it. I don't really need it to use it much for anything. Mainly because of the fact that this ship is just mainly used for the lab. And then back here is a hangar area, and we could just fall through here to exit the ship. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this area. Now let's take a look at other... Oh, well, I disappeared. Oh, no. Oh, I'm gone. I'm gone. Where am I? But yeah, we'll check out other places. Now, heading through this portal, we get into our Nether hub, and I am really proud of this design. It's a pretty massive area for the Nether hub. I really didn't need to make it this big, but I like the space that I have here, and we've got ways to different places. Over here, we have, of course, the base. Back there is back to spawn. As you can see, it's marked by the map of the spawn shopping district. And then over here is our abandoned industrial district. Through the center here, we could go up. Then we eventually land on our piglin bartering system, which is a pretty simple piglin bartering system. And basically, once it drops, it travels through into a hopper chain that goes up. So if we go through here, we can actually see the hopper chain. It goes through there, and then it goes through that way. And if we go up, we have a dropper elevator that leads up into here, and we have this old minecart system, which It definitely did not work well at all. And then it goes through back into here into the sorting system, and anything that doesn't get sorted either gets put here or it gets thrown out. And if we head back down, we have our storage area, and it's laid out pretty nicely. I like how this ended up looking. This whole room is pretty cool. And then if we head into here and up into here, we have a little thing that actually that goes in through the bedrock roof, and gold gets put into here. While we run our gold farm, we could dispense gold into there and run the piglin bartering system at the same time as run our gold farm. Speaking of our gold farm, if we go up from here, we end up at the top here, and if you look up, we have our gold farm, and right here, here's the tube that leads down into the little hopper that dispenses the gold into the piglin bartering station. Now, if we fly up, I could show you how this works. So basically, you stand around center here, ignore this message, and you throw a projectile at one of the zombie pigmen, except for that one. That one's there to make sure that these piglins stay angry. So they fall in, they die to cramming, entity cramming, which is a limit set by the game at like 24 entities. So I put 24 mine carts there so that they would die pretty quickly, and I get the XP from it. So it's a pretty good XP farm if you wanted to like AFK it overnight, and it's a pretty good gold farm as well. Now, if we head down into here, we have the storage area, and I was actually planning on restocking my gold shop, but it's getting way too close to the end of the season to even worry about restocking any of this. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this. So yeah, now let's move on to some other builds. Now, if we head down this way, this leads to our abandoned industrial district. We are here. Here is the portal. Now, in here we have a little shack so that we don't die as soon as we go through the portal. But yeah, this is a little abandoned industrial district. The first thing we built here is a witch farm, and we have our AFK chamber up there. And yes, it worked pretty good for us. I'd probably say I'd probably dig out a larger perimeter, a larger spawn perimeter, so that mobs don't spawn. But yeah, it worked pretty good for us for what we needed. And it was actually one of the first big farms that I built on the server. And actually, it's like one of the first properly functioning witch farms on the server. But yes, the only other thing that we actually built in terms of farming is we have a concrete converter here. It's of my own design, and it was really bad. I should have just gone with another design. I wanted to try to go with my own design, but I realized quickly that that was not a good idea, because this thing breaks every other stack of blocks, and it just wasn't worth the trouble. So I decided to just not use this anymore. So I only used it a couple times, but yeah, it didn't really get much use because it's not a good design at all. But yes, it explodes, falls through into here, falls through in that center hopper, and then it is placed in these chests down here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this area. I really didn't do much here. I wish I would have done more. I had kind of an idea of like some sort of like crater area, but it was too ambitious of a plan for the time I had on the server. Before we move on to the next thing, let's just admire this entire nether hub, designed by Kale Hamrin and built by Thalman. It is just incredible. It is just an incredible build. I love the whole mirror effect that we have going on here, and I'm just so excited to be back working with Kale again in the next season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now let's actually finish up in the shopping district. Now, one of the first shops I built was actually like somewhere around here, and it was just a creeper head. It was very basic, very boring, but I ended up rebuilding it here, and it actually served absolutely no purpose. I never stocked it. I never used it for anything. It's just a pretty build. But yeah, I really like how this turned out, because it's kind of like sort of like an Apple Store type thing, except it's just the creeper. and I put a bit of TNT there, and for some reason there's a Steve head. That might have been meant to be a creeper head, and maybe I think the data pack was broken at the time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. The next one I built, I also rebuilt twice, and it is the witch's hat, and it's where I sell all the goods I get from the witch farm. So yeah, this was actually a build that I'm really proud of because it has a nice shape to it. You know, I wanted to try and emulate a sort of witch's hat with like kind of warts growing on it, just kind of a natural looking one with vines as well. Like, you know, just get that swampy feel, but also get the witch's hat feel. And this was actually the first time I ever went for something a little more like organic and like folded and doesn't have an exact defined shape. And I gotta say, like, for my first attempt, I think it worked out pretty well. The next thing I built over in the medieval district, and it is the Bastion Emporium, and this is actually one of my most profitable shops because it has quite a bit of stuff, including obsidian. Oh, and people bought obsidian. That's pretty good, but like these diamonds mean nothing to me now. Like I could leave them here and I don't even care. Anybody with the world download, you could take these diamonds. I don't care. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the shop. It's a really simple shop. It's not really a complicated design. I just kind of went with the blocks that would go in like a bastion, and then I sold everything that was sold in the as part of piglin bartering, and it turned out really well for me. Now we're going a little bit out of order, but the next shop we have here is the gold shop, and I basically made a piglin head and made it a gold head with like a charred black skull, and I gotta say it turned out really good. I like doing these sort of like pixel art or like head rebuilds, but I like to make them really detailed, and I think I did a pretty good job on this. And honestly, I'm really proud of this build. It's not that big. It's, you know, it's relatively simple. I kind of just went off the piglin head and just kind of like detailed it with the specific colors from Minecraft. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. Now moving on to the next one. Now before we get on to the big building, we have the ice shop, and this shop I am probably the most proud of. It's probably the build that I'm most proud of because I don't think I've ever put in this much good detail into a build as much as I have this build. Like I think I you know, I am not really the greatest builder, and I honestly doubt my building skills quite a bit, but I really outperformed myself than like ever before. Like it's something that I'm really truly proud of, and the interior is also a great feat, not just because it looks good, and yes, it looks good, but like at the same time I was able to get lighting with ice. And if you know Minecraft, lighting and ice don't mix well together, but I was actually able to get the lighting just enough so that it would light up the whole room while also not melting the ice. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. And now on to the main event, which is the RTC building. Now this build is just a giant build. I really did nothing with it. If we actually go into here, we just got a bunch of floors that are basically the same thing. If we go through here and we let's just go one more floor up, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's the same thing for each room. I ended up not doing much with it, but we also have ways to get down floor individually. But we also have like express, so we'll be able to just fall through all the way to the bottom from all the way from the top. And then we also have a express elevator all the way to the top, which is supposed to be my office, but I ended up doing nothing with it. It's really just a safe haven for me now, for like if I'm in the shopping district and it's nighttime. But yes, I actually added one more thing, and I'm not sure if I ever featured this in a video, but I basically have this thing hooked up where I could go up into here, and it opens a little hatch at the top, and basically just kind of an exit out of the building. But yeah, and I'm really proud of this build because of how massive it is, and it's the tallest building in the shopping district, which I'm happy to hold that crown. But yes, and then we also have the theater, which we also worked on, and it's also still not finished, but we actually might be getting close. We have the event still, and I think that is going to be the last thing for the season. It has been an incredible season, and I'm looking forward to the next season. But yeah, and these next clips are going to be from my live stream. If you want to check out my Twitch link is down below. But this would already have been streamed by then. So yeah. And we have one more piece to the puzzle that I am pretty sure is the last piece we need. This. And we're going to activate it later, because I think that's it. That is the final phase. Yeah, well, let's get started. So, we stand here today, the final day of Season 1. And, man, what a journey has it been. I remember joining in for the first time, and this whole spawn area was a completely different place than it was now. And a lot of changes have been made, and it, honestly, you know, I'm happy with the journey that we took. You know, it had its few bumps and stuff, but it was amazing. It was amazing, and I wouldn't change it. And definitely, I mean, if I were to choose a favorite moment, I mentioned this in stream earlier. My favorite moment was when a certain Viking pilot came into my 24-hour stream and started terrorizing me on a boat. And that's you, Viking.
Yay.
That was the lobster bisque.
Yes. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this season turned out, and I'm very excited for Season 2. That's pretty much it for my little rambling, for my little speech.
Some good racing
slip
music.
away as soon as we start this race.
I made it.
I am ready. Are you ready?
Let's go.
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Out of my way, pizza.
Do, 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 do,
I have no idea.
All right. They hopefully didn't notice that I just walked off. Once I pull this lever, things may happen. We may get huge power surges around the world. There might be sudden random, you know, noises that we hear. I actually realized one of my mistakes before was I had to give this just a few minutes to pre-charge. So we gotta get everything started right now. So yes, we got everything pre-charged. We gotta wait just a couple minutes, and we gotta invert these. These actually are power coils. People thought these were buttons. These are actually little power coils. They're actually sending power to each other right now. And I was scared to use these because I felt like this was gonna give too much power, but this is exactly the power we need. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? Things are happening. What? Rava joined the game. Rava joined the game. What? No. No. What happened? What?
Come on,
What? What?
Where are we?
What's up? Whoa, my God, Rava!
What?
Rava?
What?
What is happening?
What is
this?
what it?
Who is this person?
Who is...
You fools! You have messed with a power you do not understand. For this transgression, you will pay with your minds.